On the news, federal government announces near completion of second Niger bridge. PDP leaders meet in Abuja over 2023 presidential tickets. And Lagos State government gives makeshift shop owners 48 hours quit notice after fire incident. We're glad to have you join us in news now. I am Folashade Ogurinde. The federal government has disclosed that the second Niger bridge linking Anambra and Delta State, scheduled for completion in February 2022, is now 91% completed. While briefing at the special weekly briefing coordinated by the Presidential Communications Team at the Presidential Villa in Abuja, Minister of Works and Housing Babatunde Fashola said that the bridge was one of the cardinal projects of the Muhammadu Buhari-led administration. Fashola further disclosed that Lagos-Ibadan Expressway and the second Niger bridge are on course to be completed this year, 2022, while the main carriageway of Abuja-Kaduna-Zaria-Kano Expressway is scheduled for completion by the second quarter of 2023. The People's Democratic Party, PDP chieftains, led by former Senate President Bukola Saraki on Thursday, met in Abuja over the 2023 polls. The party is sequel to a recent one which was held in Bauchi, with the next one scheduled for Sokoto State. The PDP leaders are meeting over the PDP 2023 presidential ticket, expected to be keenly contested in a few months' time. Consultations are currently ongoing regarding the agreement of a consensus PDP flag bearer to face that of the All Progressives Congress APC in the next general elections. Well, joining me to discuss this further is Charles Ideho, political affairs analyst. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, with the likes of former Senate President Bukola Saraki, the Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed, and his Sokoto State counterpart Aminu Waziri Tambuwal agreeing on a consensus mode, how do you think this will play out owing to agitations for the emergence of the party's presidential candidate from the South?
Well, first, thank you for having me. I think this is the regime of consensus, if you will, because only last night the president was able to gather all the governors of the All Progressive Congress together, and then he spoke to them and asked them to file behind him in his choice of the party leadership. Of course, he has his choice, and his choice is Abdullahi, remember the former governor of Nasarawa State. So everybody decided to now accept to file behind the president, being the leader of the party. So it's quite easy for them because you have one leader to look up to. But in PDP's case, it's not like that, because for now you can't point at any individual that could be the party leader of PDP. So the issue of zoning and the issue of consensus is going to be a very hard nut for that party to crack. Because if you had an identifiable leader that they call subject, maybe you could look up to, it could be easy. So I don't know how they're going to do it, because and there's also a problem within the PDP. There's some of them within the high ranking officers of PDP. They're also complaining that PDP is a bit too hasty in selling their forms. They opened that on the 17th of March. They said they're going to close the sale of form on the 1st of April. So they are thinking and supposing that the pendulum of the leadership now of the choice of who to fly their flag now swings the way of the South. How about people like Atiku, who are from the North, who already purchased the PDP the ticket? So it's a hard nut to crack, as I said. But as we watch, some of us who are watching, we are beginning to look at how they are going to be able to resolve all these knotty issues that appear to
Now, how critical is the
Hello?
PDP's decision to zone the presidential ticket to the south or north help the party's chances of taking back power in 2023?
Well, the zoning aspect of it is very critical, and it's also very strategic. Like if you remember that earlier in the week, Tambwa, the current governor of Sokoto State, came out to say that if the PDP decide to zone their ticket to the south, that they may not do well. I mean, he has reasons that he raised the reasons. He talked about the court-like followership that they enjoy in the north, and then the voting population also have in the north against. I mean, when you place the north and the south together, they have that advantage over there. So he is thinking that if the ticket of the PDP comes to APC comes to the south, which is almost going to be like that since the chairmanship is going to the north, then you now find PDP also trying to say, okay, they want to also put theirs in the south. They may not do well because it will just protest vote in the north may just be something that the APC may just harvest from, which would be to the disadvantage of PDP in both the short and long run. So that's why they are very, very I'm sure that's why it's very critical for them to look very deep before they can say whether the pendulum should swing to the north or it should swing down south.
Well, it's definitely a wait and see situation, but Charles Ideho, political affairs analyst, thank you very much for your contribution. Still on politics, Governor of Nasarawa State and Chairman of the Publicity Subcommittee for the National Convention of the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC, Governor Abdullahi Sule, has said President Muhammadu Buhari and governors on the platform of the party opted for consensus in order to have a peaceful exercise on Saturday. Buhari had met with APC governors at the State House in Abuja on Wednesday, where they agreed on consensus. Addressing newsmen at the party's national secretariat on Thursday in Abuja, Governor Sule said the APC governors are now more united and would go into the convention as one united family. He further explained that the number of delegates was not yet ascertained, adding that the number of delegates to vote during the convention will be determined after accreditation.
We have been able to resolve most of the issues going towards this convention in a consensus arrangement. Mr. President has met with all the chairmen, the chairmanship aspirants, of the national chairmanship of our party. And from what you can see so far, so good. Things are going without any rancor and without any major problems. You can be rest assured that whatever we're going to do is going to be in line with the law, electoral act, INEC rules, and whatever it is that we have. So you can put your mind at rest that is what is going to happen. Once we agree on the consensus and all the aspirants agree, it is only fair that what they pay should be refunded to them. So it was a request actually made by Mr. President to the leadership of the party, and the leadership was seated there and they did not object. So I would say the leadership of the party is also in agreement with the request made by Mr. President in that order.
The governor of Ebonyi State, David Umahi, has maintained that he has entertained fewer worries since the counter-pronouncement by a federal high court in Abuja, ordering that he and his deputy, Eric Igwe, vacate their seats as governor and deputy respectively. The governor's comments are in reaction to the judgment of a federal high court in Abuja, ordering his sack and that of his deputy following their defection from the People's Democratic Party, PDP, to the All Progressives Congress, APC. Umahi argued that aside from the fact that he enjoys immunity as an elected governor, votes secured during an election legally belong to the candidates and not a political party.
God has plans for everything, and I think that God allowed one court to give judgment that I go nowhere, allowed another court to say because we defected and the votes belong to the party. And I'm very much worried because the highest court has said that votes belong to the candidates of his deputy. And so if votes belonged to the party, it would have been that the Supreme Court in their wisdom would have just asked for the the man that won the election for party to bring a substitute to do that. So I'm not worried because in the first place, there is no constitutional provision that says that a governor can be sued in the first place. So I'm not suable, but a court judgment is a court judgment. I'm not to interpret it, but the Constitution we swore to uphold. I can speak to the Constitution, and the Constitution says that once you are elected, you enjoy immunity. And Supreme Court says votes cast in an election belong to the candidates, and that's why you have qualifications of a candidate and not qualifications of a political party.
As preparations for the 2023 general elections pick up pace, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) says the commission is committed to raising the bar of the standards set in previous elections. The resident electoral commissioner, Olusegun Agbaje, says the commission is engaging stakeholders all around the country on the expansion of voters' access to polling units, as well as the continuous voter registration exercise, among others. Agbaje urged Nigerians to get their permanent voters card to enable them vote their preferred candidate in the coming 2023 general elections.
I urge all of us who have not gotten our PVC, both the party leaders, both the media, civil society organizations, to please go out there. Also encourage our people. Those who have registered online without coming to complete them, they are not eligible to PVC. Only those who have registered physically, completed the biodata aspect of the registration, will be eligible to have their PVCs when we print them out. Let me also inform you that some permanent voters' cards, PVCs of those that registered prior to 2019 general election, are available at all the 20 local government areas for collection by those who are yet to do so. That is to say, we are not just doing registration. Registration is in various forms, both those who are 18 years and above who have not registered before. Those who want to do transfer, I mentioned to you we have over 4,000 polling units newly created in Lagos State. Unfortunately, about 1,000 of them are yet to be populated as I speak with you. It is not good enough. We need to get all of them populated before the next election.
Following the fire incident at the Akpongbo market on Wednesday, the Lagos State government has shut down the bridge and given a 48-hour quit notice to owners of the makeshift shops and containers in the area. The special advisor to the governor on Central Business District, Benga Oyerinde, gave the notice at the commencement of the removal of containers and makeshift shops affected by the fire incident to forestall spreading to other parts of the area. To this end, the Aloja of the market says all instructions given by the federal and state government have been adhered to and has pleaded with the federal government to be more lenient with the directives given.
The whole place has been cleared, all containers has been evacuated except few that we are still waiting for people to come and cut it down. So we are just clearing everything now. So to wait for the government judgment, and we appeal to them to please sympathize with us. There's nowhere to go. There's no market that they can pack all the people here to now, because all Lagos Island is filled up. There's no extra where that we can go and sell this commodity. This commodity is meant for this place where everybody comes and buy, because it's meant for food items alone. So, and that's where they buy everything from nook and cranes of Lagos State. This is where they come.
The family of 22-year-old fashion designer Oluwabamiche Ayanwola, who was found dead in Lagos State after boarding the bus Rapid Transit heading to Oshodi from Chevron bus stop, Victoria Island, have continued on their quest for justice. Speaking at a World Press Conference which took place at the Rights House at Adeniyi Jones Ikeja on Thursday, counsel to the family Ayo Ademuliyi called on the Lagos State government to conduct the autopsy in the presence of an independent pathologist for transparency purposes, saying the family will continue seeking for justice until the perpetrators are brought to book.
Lagos State has reverted more or less to what a philosopher called Thomas Hobbes calls state of nature, where life is nasty, short and brutish, where you can board the BRT bus and you are not sure you can arrive home.
With the response so far by the Lagos State government, is the Lagos State government telling us that life is not important? Whereas that is number one right. According to the Nigerian Constitution, Chapter 4, according to the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, and even in accordance with the Universal Declaration of Human Rights.
Lagos State government failed woefully in their responsibility in providing security to its citizens and residents. At least Lagos State government should have make a provision for transporter. The transporters, commuters who board their buses provided by them. Lagos State government provided these BRT buses, for the citizens for Lagosians, and they should have provided security for them.
We'll take a break here, but still to come, Super Eagles arrive in Ghana for World Cup playoff. Details of this story and more right after this break.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
President must see himself as the President of the Federal Republic.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places. The Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On TV360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians are saying in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
TV360, dissecting the issues.
Welcome back. Now here is a recap of some of our top stories tonight. The federal government has disclosed that the second Niger bridge linking Anambra and Delta State, scheduled for completion in February 2022, is now 91% completed. While briefing at the special weekly press briefing coordinated by the Presidential Communications Team at the Presidential Villa in Abuja, the Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, said that the bridge was one of the cardinal projects of the Muhammadu Buhari-led administration. He also told you that following the fire incident at Akpongbo Market on Wednesday, the Lagos State government has shut down the bridge and given a 48-hour quit notice to owners of makeshift shops and containers in the area. The special advisor to the governor on Central Business District, Benga Oyerinde, gave the notice at the commencement of the removal of containers and makeshift shops affected by the fire incident for stores spreading to other parts of the area. Well, in case you missed any of our news bulletin, or for more updates, do log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Google Plus at TV360 Nigeria. On Facebook, we are TV360 Online. Niger on Thursday confirmed 54 fresh COVID-19 infections. Data released by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control (NCDC) shows that the cases were reported in 4 states and the Federal Capital Territory (FCT). Lagos State, the epicenter of the virus, topped the chart with 38 cases, followed by Rivers and FCT with 6 and 5 cases respectively. To date, Nigeria has confirmed a total of 255,244 cases with 3,142 deaths. The Zimbabwe government has revealed that the COVID-19 pandemic has resulted in the loss of 9,000 jobs and the closure of 37 facilities over the past 2 years. According to the country's information minister, investors in the country's tourism sector grew by $86 million in 2020 to $142 million in 2021, boosted by a slew of government investment promotion efforts. The minister further revealed that the government has implemented a recovery and growth strategy launched to grow the tourism industry to $5 billion by 2025. But we'll take a break here, return with more stories in business. To stay with us.
In the last 3 years, we have built a multi-purpose center, which is the envy of all in our constituency. And I can tell you that the people who are living there are already enjoying it.
Guy, do you think what this man just said is true? See, I seriously doubt. I'm sure it's one of those their silly lies.
And wait, do you know there's a way to find out if these things he's saying is true or not? This is the Construct app. It gives people like us a sure way to track implementation of constituency projects. It gives valid and verified information on location of projects, amounts allocated, amount funded, the level of job done, and even the profiles of concerned legislators. You and I can post directly on this app.
Are you serious?
This is the Go-To app if you want to know how our Commonwealth is being expanded by the government.
Wow. Let's even see if what this man said is true. Show me.
The Construct app is developed by Other People Nigeria with support from USAID and is available on both Google Play Store and Apple Store.
And it's true.
Of course, I told you.
Well, up next is business news and stock market review with Abisola Adebayo. Over to you, Abisola.
Thank you very much, Folashade. Welcome to Business News. Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, has unveiled the second national maize pyramid enabled by the Central Bank of Nigeria under its anchor borrowers programs in Kaduna State. The maize pyramid were produced in collaboration with the Maize Association of Nigeria and is aimed at making Nigeria more self-sufficient in food production. President of the Maize Association of Nigeria, Bello Abubakar, says each pyramid is made up of at least 30 to 50 trucks of maize. The Federal Executive Council, FEC, has approved the sum of 92.12 billion naira for the construction of a second runway at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja. Minister of Aviation Adi Sirika disclosed the approval of the fund to State House correspondents at the end of the virtual council meeting presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari at the presidential villa in the nation's capital. According to Sirika, the approved fund will be spread over a number of works to be carried out at the airport within a period of 12 months. Our correspondent Mary Kanu now reports.
Less than 24 hours after paying a visit to the country's commercial nerve center, Lagos State, for the commissioning of some projects, President Muhammadu Buhari continued his official duty by presiding over the weekly virtual Federal Executive Council meeting. At the FEC meeting, the Minister of Aviation, Hadi Sirika, revealed that 92.1 billion naira was approved for the construction of a second runway at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, an increase of 28.6 billion naira approved for the same project in 2015. Addressing some lingering issues the country is currently facing, Sirika says the increase in the price of airfares is a resultant effect of the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine.
Worldwide, the price of Jet A1 has gone very, very high up, and it's on demand, and the supply is short. Issue number one. Issue number two, we don't refine Jet A1 here in Nigeria. So number three, those that import the A1 and the airlines do not have access to foreign exchange. So sourcing for the fuel and getting it at the appropriate price will certainly, of course, cause delays and cancellation. When they don't have the fuel, they will cancel the flight.
The council also approved over 14 billion naira to train 50,000 non-graduates of N-Power for 9 months. The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadiya Farouk, who revealed this to State House correspondents, said the amount would be used to engage 4 federal government agencies to train non-graduates for 9 months.
We're going to give them starter packs. By this, I mean the tools that they will use in these different areas of skills that they've been trained on. And then on the other hand, in addition to that, we are also going to get an exit strategy for them, collaborating with different government agencies that have such programs. For instance, the Federal Ministry of Sports and Youth, where they have the Youth Development Fund, in which they support skilled or specialized skills.
The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, who also spoke at the meeting, said to sustain the legacies achieved through the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council, FEC also approved the Business Facilitation and Miscellaneous Provision Bill to consolidate the reforms and enhance productivity and value.
What it seeks to do is to have a wholehearted embodiment of amendment to our existing legislations that in one way or the other have an impact on ease of doing business in the Nigerian space.
On the controversial Section 84, subsection 12 of the Electoral Act of 2022, Malami also says the deletion of that section of the Act is still a work in progress and is being considered. Mary Kanu, TV360, Nigeria.
We'll take a break now and return with a review of the stock market. The bear ruled the market this week, dominating 3 out of 4 trading sessions. In fact, today's loss is the deepest with over 100 billion naira. At the close of trading, the all-share index recorded a 0.45% loss, dropping below the 47,000 benchmark, which also leaves the market capitalization at 25.309 trillion naira today. On the list of equities that led the downward trajectory, we have RT Briscoe leading that list. The capital market's confidence towards the automotive firm has been unstable this month following February's bullish run, leading to shareholders losing over 9% of their investment that week, which is why it's leading the losers for today. It was followed by Chi PLC, who had a 6 kobo loss. On the flip side, that's the gainers chart for today. Veritas Cap and FCMB led that counter as they recorded a combined 27 kobo gains, but their gains did not even have any impact on the market. Our market summary sees a total volume of 214 million units of shares valued at 2 billion naira exchanging hands in 4,003 deals. Well, it's not late for the bull to take charge of the NGX in the midst of all this negative run, but we'll have to wait and see what happens at the close of trading, which is tomorrow, at the close of the week's trading rather, which is tomorrow. On the foreign scene, London's FTSE ended higher on Thursday, aided by healthcare and consumer staple stocks, although concerns about surging inflation and the fallout from the Ukraine crisis weighed on overall sentiment and dragged down the mid-cap index. The Dow Jones also rallied on Thursday, looking to rebound from Wednesday's sharp losses as Treasury yields continued higher, while US oil trimmed gains after punching above $116 a barrel in early trade. Japan stocks Nikkei also ended in the positive territory, recording a 0.25% increase. That's all on stock market reports. Back to Shade for the rest of the news.
Many thanks, Bisla, for that update. And now on the foreign scene, Ukrainian healthcare institutions have been attacked 64 times since Russia invaded its western neighbor 1 month ago, the World Health Organization confirmed on Thursday. The European office of the global health body further explained that access to health services was severely restricted and the need for treatment of trauma and chronic diseases was great. While condemning the attacks in stronger terms, the World Health Agency stressed that attacks on healthcare are a violation of international humanitarian law but a disturbingly common tactic of war. On the sporting scene, the Super Eagles of Nigeria have landed in Ghana as they prepare for Friday's World Cup playoff against the Black Stars. On Tuesday, the three-time African champions held their first training in Abuja, with coach Austin Eguavoin expressing satisfaction over the players' fitness. Ghana's largest stadium, Baba Yara Sports Stadium, will host both sides on Friday. And that's the size of our news bulletin. Many thanks for watching. I am Folashade Ogurinde. Bye for now.